And Cooper Capus in the lineup today for the UIC Flames. Pretty standard for what they've done so far this season with their Canadian guards and Adi and Bowen along with Tarkus Ferguson, the forwards Blount and Washington.
There's some juice in this building, Jordan, as people continue to file in here to the Credit Union One Arena. City rivalry doesn't get any better than this.
56th all-time meeting between Loyola and UIC is underway. UIC controls the basketball first. Tarkus Ferguson leading UIC in every category. Inside to Marcus Adi to start the scoring.
Great find there. Adi being able to find the seam, getting inside. Now, this is a perimeter-oriented team for UIC here. Steve McLean told me before, because Loyola is so tough, he wish he had a week to prepare, but it's only been a few days.
UIC 3-4 on the season, unbeaten so far here at Credit Union One Arena. Loyola coming off that trip to the Final Four, 4-3 so far. Lost their last one against number 5 Nevada on Tuesday. And the shot clock, Marcus Towns at 3 and an air ball out of bounds. Shot clock violation against Loyola.
Okay, from Loyola's standpoint, I'm really interested in seeing how well they can defend the 3 against UIC. Documented 16th in all of college basketball for UIC from three-point range. I want to see if Loyola can ratchet up their defense against a very potent shooting UIC Flames team.
UIC 11 threes against St. Joseph's on Wednesday, but they were just 11 of 35. It was their second lowest percentage of the season. See if they can get back to that hot shooting in this afternoon's game against a typically very good Rambler defense. To shoot now. This is Washington for 3 off target. The rebound to Cameron Crutway. Travell Washington, one of those new faces for UIC.
Question. You're looking for size when you have Washington on the floor. We have a whistle.
Foul coming up against UIC, and that'll go against Jordan Blount, his first. But Flames fans very familiar the last 4 years with Coyote Ossie, the Horizon League's all-time leading shot blocker, who's now moved on to a professional career. And so Travell Washington, one of the guys that replaces him, a freshman that's game is a little bit different, but has that role.
I like the idea that Washington can come in and be able to shoot from the outside. Still working on his defense, but so is the UIC Flames as a whole.
Tarkus Ferguson, a 3-try over Bujoso, the miss, and it pinballs around, and the freshman Bujoso's got it. Marcus Towns into the lane and lays it in off glass. Loyola on the board.
Great play by Towns, being able to get into the painted area there and get in the lay-in. One of the things that you mentioned, no Odiasi, no Robinson, the 2 twin towers for UIC. And there's been a little bit of a lack of defense there because you don't have that size on the inside. UIC's got to make it up with speed and keeping their opponents to the perimeter if they can.
Jordan Blount bodies Towns and puts it in. Loyola team that comes in, 3 starters returned from last year, though one of them injured right now. And Williamson, as we mentioned, a broken hand suffered Tuesday against Nevada. Dante Ingram, Andre Jackson, and Ben Richardson gone from a year ago. They like this kid, Cooper Capus, the sharpshooter.
Capus being able to knock it down from the corner, get a good contest there, but just better shooting on that occasion.
Washington couldn't handle that pass. Here comes Marcus Towns across the floor, and the big block from Adi, but then the second chance opportunity good for Loyola.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that was showcased on that play is the hops of Marcus Adi. Boy, for a guy his size, he can really get up.
Tremendous block by Marcus Adi. Clayton Custer on the board for the first time in the game. Both of these teams played deep last season. As you take a look at this block.
Look at that. Look at the extension. I mean, usually centers can just raise their arm, but he got up right up there with the rim. Great play by Adi.
Time to shoot now for UIC. Here's Bowen over Towns for 3.
Prolific three-point shooting UIC Flames team. Steve McLean says he's never had a team that can shoot this well from three-point range. Think about where he's been. He's been coaching for a long time. He's really impressed with what he's seen so far from his UIC team from deep.
Clayton Custer steps inside the line, knocks down the long two.
Custer just as solid as they come. Didn't shoot the ball particularly well against Nevada. Had 10 points, but you know he's always good for 15 or 20 more times than not.
Custer 3 for his last 14 from deep over the last couple of games. They certainly want to get him going. That one goes off the hand of Jordan Blount and out of bounds. It's a beach party here at UIC today, and the fans are festive. these guards that have sort of been the bedrock of the program now enter their upperclassmen years, and that's why so many people feel like this Flames team can take another step forward.
And I was looking forward to that because I want to see what Tarkus Ferguson, what Marcus Sadi, Godwin Bowen, what they would look like taking it to another level in another class. And you know what? We're seeing leadership from those guys as well. For years it was Coyote Ossie, and now the guards are being more vocal in practice and really helping out Steve McLean.
Clayton Custer inside Aganane in the steal by UIC. Bowen, the cross-court pass. Jamie Hale now into the game, the freshman out of Australia. And the kick to the corner, Ferguson misses the three. Custer the kick, Skokna the three, off target.
All the defense was sucked into the painted area. There was several Ramblers wide open on the perimeter.
Here's a Hale, a three try, no good. Rob Howard the rebound, and the second chance, no. And now a foul, and it's going the other way. And we'll get Rob Howard, that's his second personal.
Take a look at this again. Again, a wide open three, no good. And then Wiley over the top. And here's Howard muscling his way in. You know, slight elbow there, but now he's all over the top of him. Howard, you know, rough and tumble guy from Gary, Indiana. It's the toughness that I think was needed a little bit on this team. A different type of player for Steve McLean. Glad he's on the roster because he does a nice job.
He's a good scorer and rebounder in his junior college days, and they wanted to get that size into the program. Uguak has his shot redirected, and Washington pulls it down.
Look at that defense by Towns.
Here's Bowen. Off on a three, the rebound Towns.
That reminds me of the Loyola teams that we saw last year, Jordan. The ability to make it difficult to be able to shoot the basketball. That's great defense by Towns to that end.
Skokna, the feet underneath. Krutwig lays it in around Washington.
Krutwig, again, just quality on the inside. You know, you mentioned earlier, almost knocking down a three. Showing a little versatility, the big guy, but you just know around the rim, he's money.
Krutwig is on the Jabbar watch list for best center in the country. Preseason second team All-Valley selection after earning Missouri Valley Conference Freshman of the Year honors last year. Flames really struggling on the offensive end, now down 10. Loyola on an 8-0 run over the last 5:21.
You saw the Flames trying to establish the post, trying to establish the inside early, then going with outside shots from three. But again, you've got to be able to have that versatility within your offense. We know UIC can shoot the three. But when you're behind, you want to be able to get to the foul line, dictate the pace. You're the team that's at home.
This is certainly a challenging game, but it's always nice that these two longtime Horizon League rivals still maintain this game every year, even though, of course, Loyola now playing in the Missouri Valley Conference. And you get a good crowd, you get a good atmosphere when these two play, and normally you get a pretty good game.
Absolutely. Some teams are afraid of that, though, Jordan, as you well know. They don't want to wreck their recruiting.
Ferguson into the shot clock, did not get the rim, and a violation against the Flames.
Don't want to wreck their recruiting, don't want to be able to take on and have a city rivalry game. This is fun. Now, UIC is going to take on DePaul a little bit later on. That's been a great back and forth. Now, Steve McLean and Dave Latos into that matchup.
Last year's game between these two did not go well for the Flames. It was a big victory for Loyola, 85-61. The Flames could not stop Loyola's offense. They shot nearly 55% in that game. And, you know, it's one of those ones you talk to the coaches, they don't put a lot of stock in it. It was just kind of one of those games that got out of hand early. But maybe a precursor to what we would eventually see with Loyola. And UIC really, they got hot once the calendar flipped to January. Think about the 12 wins in the Horizon League and then going to the title game, the CollegeInsider.com tournament, as Kapis knocks down a three, and Steve McLean's going to want time. 24-9, Loyola
good player for Porter Moser.
Cameron Krutwig's been outstanding since he came in. This was a kid that Porter Moser had been targeting for a long time out of Jacobs High School. And sophomore from Algonquin, last year's Missouri Valley Freshman of the Year. He's been a great player so far for Loyola. And really, when you think about Krutwig's impact on the Ramblers, some might say that he was kind of that last piece they needed to finally take that step forward to go to the Final Four. Because in the past, Porter Moser teams were very talented at their guard play, but they were always a little bit undersized. But that changed when they got Krutwig into this program. As Adi lays it in there, Marcus with 12.
On the far end for Loyola for their last possession, that was 27 seconds of good defense for UIC. Need to have more of that, but they've got to come up and be able to get that ball on a miss.
Custer turns it over to Blount. Ferguson lost the handle. Volleys around. Out of bounds. It will stay with UIC.
You know, both of these teams have never played in this building before, because they've never played at the Credit Union 1 Arena.
Right, yes. That's an interesting way to characterize it.
They played in the UIC Pavilion, but this Credit Union 1 Arena is just great relationship now that UIC's had with Credit Union 1. Doing their reach for years, but now just the financial investment in the building and the program, a positive definitely for the UIC program.
Certainly is, as Rob Howard knocks down the three. 15-year agreement announced just recently. $9.3 million coming in. Also $750,000 in scholarships, which makes it a really nice and unique agreement between Credit Union 1 and UIC. But talking to Chancellor Emeritus and Todd Gunderson from Credit Union 1 during halftime, these two have had a partnership for a long time. I've been doing Credit Union 1 advertisements for many years working here.
Great to see the names on the floor in front of the building. It's a great relationship.
Absolutely. And now Custer on the miss.
Flames had a chance to cut it to 7 with that 3 miss. Let's see what they draw up here now, Jordan.
UIC's made 4 of its last 5 from the field. Here's Howard in against Negron. No. And now a foul coming up against the big man for UIC. Howard has got 3. 2
players right there at the rim on the contest right there. Great job. And we talk all the time, and coaches use this, and Moser just said it to me a couple days ago. It's all about being tied together. All 5 guys tied together. Look at that. The contest right there. Knowing a 6'8" Howard can get above the rim there, the ability to slide over and slow Howard down from being able to get that jumper. That's a good job there.
Kid was pointing right at us. You see him?
Didn't see that, yes. I'm afraid.
He had us picked out. Now Kafis. 8 to shoot. Skokna in around Adi. Skokna with a strong take and his first basket of the game.
Well, because of the broken hand from Lucas Williamson, someone else has to be able to pick up the slack. That very well could be Skokna. I expect him moving forward to have more minutes and more opportunities on the floor.
It's a good point that you bring up, because one thing that Porter Moser has said is that with the injury to Williamson, he needs some of these young guys to step up. He said last year when we went to the Final Four, we had 7 or 8 guys every game that we could count on to do something. And this year they're trying to find that. And Lucas Williamson was one of those guys last year that really stepped up as a freshman out of Whitney Young. Now as a sophomore in the starting lineup, but lost until January with that broken hand. Clayton Custer now at 12 today.
Talking to Coach Moser about the Valley and the conference that they're in. He expects the Valley to really be strong this year. Not just because Loyola's in it and coming out of the Final Four. There's a number of teams he's cited talking about Drake.
Wiley, the bucket and the foul.
All that activity on the inside, something's going to come out of that. That's why I stopped my Valley thoughts, because you just
We'll continue your Valley thoughts after He's just been a really steady presence for Loyola on the interior, both as an offensive and defensive player. And you have to like what he's done game in and game out for the Ramblers.
Crudwig has all 4 foul shots, too. 3 for 4 for Loyola.
Now Marcus Towns fouled as they try the long outlet pass. Will be on Marcus Adi, foul number 2.
Let's watch this again. Watch Adi here. Again, right into the basket stanchion. Goes Towns. Wasn't going to give up any layups there. Believe me, UIC's seen a ton of it, so that's just a good, solid foul there to make Towns earn it.
Marcus Towns. Now 13 points with that free throw, coming off that 24-point effort against Nevada last time out. Was held to 10 points in the game against Boston College. Loyola in its first true road game of the season, trying to seal themselves a victory over UIC, and it's been pretty balanced scoring for Loyola. They've got 4 guys on the court right now that are in double figures, and that is one of the things that they did so well a year ago when they went to the Final Four.
On the flip side, UIC just 2 players in double figures with Adi and with Godwin Bowen. Got to be able to find some additional scoring here for the next game. Someone else has to be able to step up.
Bob Howard inside. Nice move from Howard.
That's one of them, too, by the way, because he's not necessarily a three-point artist. He can be able to muscle on the inside. Just it gives a different wrinkle offensively for Steve McLean. And the official, well, we're going to talk to Steve McLean.
Officials today, G.J. Karstensen, Steve McJunkins, and Bill Eck. Guys that have been in this arena many times.
Got a kicking violation.
Kick ball there. Well, you have to love, and I think that we've seen this many times, that even when the score isn't going UIC's way, Steve McLean's teams play for 40 minutes.
See the aggressiveness there defensively by UIC. It's all from coaching. There's a culture that's being built here, Jordan. That's the reason why that they're going to play hard for 40 minutes, because McLean won't allow them to do that.
Towns to miss on the 3. Adi, beautiful move inside, just couldn't get the roll. Out of bounds, it'll stay with the Flames as it rolled off the hands of Towns.
And for any coach, there's always teaching moments. And in the last game that UIC played against St. Joseph's, perfect example, shooting the ball well from three-point range, took the crowd out of it in Philadelphia, and all of a sudden, St. Joseph comes back, knocks down threes, establishes themselves on the inside against the foul line, and UIC cannot take advantage.
Bowen up and under move, can't get it to go. Crutwig grabbed the rebound and then a foul against the Flames.
I guess the teaching moment there was we have to play for 40 minutes. It's because you're playing well and shooting the ball well for the first. That's one thing, but as the season progresses, they have to be more flexible, more versatile in their offense.
And with a young team, it's going to have to be from within. Commit on the defensive end and find ways to turn it over so that you can get your shooters out in the open floor, because that's when UIC's at its best.
You've got to guard Jordan on the other end, and it's funny. Probably it's passe for some that are listening to our broadcast, saying, "Well, look at all these big-time scores now that offense is in NFL, college football, college basketball. These big-time scores. Again, the teams that defend have increased their chances to win. There still has to be a semblance of being able to make stops."
UIC gets the fortune of a miss from the free throw line, and now a turnover by the Flames. Ferguson inside to Howard, but couldn't handle the pass. So Rob Howard will come out. Jacob Wiley back in for the Flames. With 1:03 left, and Loyola a 12-point lead, trying to pick up their 7th win in this series at this arena.
No, Jordan, I keep telling you, no. At the Credit Union One Arena, this is brand new. They've never taken on one another in this place. Let you understand?
Yeah, right.
We've never been here before together.
Yes, formerly the UIC Pavilion, now Credit Union One Arena.
Yes. Keep telling you, we've never been here before.
Yeah. I don't know, it looks so similar to the old building.
Yes.
Incredibly similar.
I could have swore I saw a Janet Jackson concert here in 1990, but maybe not. Great relationship the Credit Union One here has. The old UIC Pavilion now, and in the Credit Union One era for UIC athletics.
Here's Blount inside, no. Corrals his own miss. Tries to go back up. And they're going to give him the basket.
Okay. Didn't see that from the official. Okay.
Yes. They need to make sure Jordan Blount will get the bucket, and he will have an opportunity for a three-point play. Capus called for his third.
Uh-oh. And the jacket's off for Porter. Take a look at this one more time. Jordan losing the basketball, and then Blount being able to go up and try to complete a three-point play. But the breaking news here is that the jacket's off for Porter Moser.
It is. Thank you for being on top of that. I appreciate it. Three-try good from Godwin Bowen. And now it's an 8-point game with 42.4 left.
Getting hot now, but can the Flames make stops here to try to elongate them?
Horizon League this year, expecting to be pretty tough again, especially at the top. About Wright State that went to the tournament a season ago, and Northern Kentucky, which won the regular season title. Those two teams figure to be very good again. The only two picked ahead of UIC. Godwin Bowen will be called for the foul on Custer.
An improving IUPUI team that was in the Summit for a couple of years.
Yes.
Now part of the Horizon League. Watch out for them now. Cleveland State was going to get better. So it's very interesting. You look at the voting, the preseason voting, you see a lot of Flames on there. You would think that all of the talent is here at UIC, but there's some up-and-coming teams that were kind of the middle to the bottom. They'll be working their way up in the Horizon League. You just watch. Interesting to watch here, the ebb and flow of the season in the Horizon League.
It's going to be a fun year, no doubt. And conference play is coming up. UIC will be at Wright State December 28th. Here's Ferguson for three. No. Rebounded Skokna. And a foul on UIC with 27-7 left. Loyola got a point back. They have a 9-point lead. May not be enough time here for Sparky D. Dragon and his beach garb to will the Flames back, but there is something to be said for the fact that Steve McLean's team has played as hard as it has down the stretch to cut this to what it is.
I don't know what Sparky is smiling about. Flames are losing here.
He's always smiling.
Oh.
I've noticed that Sparky is always smiling. I don't think he has a choice in the matter there. Here's Adi. driving and scores with 20 points.
He has a choice. He could sew that thing up if he wanted to, but he's always smiling. I don't understand it, George.
He wants to be loud and proud and rally on his team.
Jacob Wiley for the